Republican Senator Orrin Hatch. Senator Hatch, it's T-minus 4 hours. You're at the vortex of everything in the Capitol building of the United States. What do you see and feel happening? Will the government shut down at midnight, or will there be a deal that will preserve fiscal sanity?
Well, I hope it won't shut down at midnight, and I doubt that they're going to do that, because it'd be ridiculous to do that. We've gone all these weeks and months. They should have had a budget 2 years ago. Right. They certainly should have had a budget in October. That's what we're talking about, is the budget for this year. They had a supermajority in the Senate, the Democrats did. They had a supermajority in the House, and they couldn't pass a budget. I mean, something's wrong with these people. And now they're coming and saying that it's the Republicans' fault. First, they used the question of abortion. Frankly, they all voted for this language, which only says, let's not have the taxpayers have to pay for abortions in the District of Columbia. Harry Reid voted for it. The president himself voted twice for it. Joe Biden voted 7 times for it. I mean, and 49 Democrats voted for it. Well, they kind of backed off on that. Now it comes down to exaggerating about women's health through Planned Parenthood, which is the largest abortion provider in America. Now, Planned Parenthood also does some good things too, but let's just be honest about it. We're spending $350 million taxpayer dollars for Planned Parenthood, and that comes to $4 billion over 10 years.
At the moment in time where we find ourselves now, 4 hours, just a few minutes less than that, before the midnight witching hour, when the government loses its legal power to spend money, are you saying that there is basically an agreement on how to spend money for the rest of this fiscal year, which takes us until the end of September, except on things like Planned Parenthood and abortion? Are those the sticking points? And if they are, will the conservative Tea Partiers in the House stand firm, or will there be a compromise on those hot-button issues?
Well, it would be pathetic to not have a resolution here and to take the country into an insolvency situation and not pay the bills. The least we should do is make sure that our military people are taken care of and that they are paid. And we can do that in a nanosecond. We've got a bill here. I'm a big co-sponsor of it. Right. Kay Bailey Hutchison deserves the credit, and we ought to really get that through and at least take care of that. But I think they, from what I'm hearing, they're close to having an agreement. But, you know, isn't it something that they can't find $40 billion in a $3.8 trillion budget?
Well, you know, the mindset of so many of these people, the mindset of so many of these people in the government, not you, but so many of your colleagues, is to borrow and spend and borrow and spend and let another generation worry about paying back the borrowing. But here's what I want to ask you, and you know this is coming in about 2 or 3 weeks. The president will ask the Congress for authority to raise the debt ceiling, stated differently, to go out into the financial markets and borrow more money. We're already $14.3 trillion in debt. Will Senator Orrin Hatch, Republican of Utah, vote to give the president that authority? Or will you draw the line in the sand and say, this is it? The abyss is so deep. The danger is so close. We're not going to let you borrow any more money. Run the government just on what you collect in taxes and other revenues.
Well, as of right now, I intend to vote against that. Do you realize that $14.3 trillion that we're in debt, headed towards $20 trillion, that $4.3 trillion is 90% of our GDP? Yes. We're fast becoming Greece if we don't watch it.
All right. The Tea Party folks who dislodged your former colleague, Senator Bob Bennett from Utah, and replaced him with your now colleague, Senator Mike Lee, a wonderful, bright young man from Utah, who is the other senator from your state. Are you with these small government, sound dollar, faithful to the Constitution folks, or are you with the leadership, which will ask you to let the government engage in more borrowing?
Well, you didn't have to ask that question. I'm the leader in the Balanced Budget Amendment. I almost got it passed in 1997. We lacked one vote. One of our Republicans flaked out on us at the last minute. If we'd have passed that in 1997, we wouldn't be in this god-awful mess today. So all I can say is, of course, I've been a fiscal conservative my whole time in the United States Senate. I've been able to work with Democrats on various issues, which we have to do from time to time if we want to get anything done. But let me tell you something. The Republicans are sticking together. You know, all 47 of us have signed the balanced budget amendment.
Right.
I think all 47 of us are working to get this government under control.
And how are the Republicans doing in the House? Because John Boehner has the Democrats and the president tugging at his left sleeve, and the small government Tea Party folks tugging at his right sleeve. Will he compromise with the White House, or will he satisfy the Tea Party folks who turned him from Minority Leader Boehner into Speaker Boehner?
Well, we'll have to wait and see, but you know, we've come down from $63 billion, out of $3.8 trillion, by the way, to $40 billion, and my understanding is they may go down to $38 billion. That'll amount to a lot of money over time, over 10 years. But I've got to tell you, it's a very, very tough position the Speaker's in.
All right.
The Speaker is a really good conservative, and he's going to do whatever has to be done, but the Tea Party people have to work towards that end, too.
Senator Orrin Hatch from Utah, it's a pleasure. It's a hot moment on Capitol Hill. We appreciate you joining us. Thank you.
Nice to be with you, Judge. Take care.
You as well. Perhaps